I'm afraid it's time for you to meet your demise. Oh my days, it's Bad Defender Man. You know what? I can see why they call him that now. Yo guys, it is your boy Nirin here, and you are watching FTW. This is of course the series where I bring to you the best and more frequently the worst of what football has to offer during the last 7 days. But what's been kicking off in the world this week? Well, we saw the introduction of Threads, Instagram's version of Twitter. Elon Musk will not be happy knowing he's been plagiarized, and Mark Zuckerberg will have to watch out at his headquarters when he sees a Tesla rock up and drive through his window. Honestly, all I've seen is bot activity on this app, nabbing stuff from other social media platforms. I should have seen it coming, really. But in reality, all it is another social media platform for troll football to be unfunny on. Now, on to the football, and it's been a monumental occasion this week as football came home. From like uni, because it's only the under-21s. So they had like a lecture or like sixth form and then came. England's footballing future is bright as the young Lions won the Euros with a 1-0 win versus Spain. Curtis Jones gave England the lead on the brink of half-time before a late Spain penalty. The pressure of the entire tournament and nation sat on the taker and keeper's shoulders. Hearts beating, striker and shot stopper. Coach v coach. England fan v a glass bottle. Fucking hell, mate, I just want a carling. And in the 98th minute, James Trafford wrote himself into the history books.
And James Trafford saves! It's a double save to win the European Championship!
A double save from the England keeper. The reaction on the bench was crazy, and England had won the entire tournament. They'd gone the entire thing without conceding one goal. Maybe that's how Cole Palmer predicted the outcome. Ivan Toney's ears pricked up when he heard Cole Palmer say, "I bet he saves this."
That's my favorite saying. That's my favorite saying.
The senior squad cannot relate to this level of success. Harry Kane's trying to sneak into the stadium so he can get himself a medal. Marcus Rashford was invested in the under-21s final from the physio room.
The children! Oh, the children!
Meanwhile, England coaches are rushing in to intervene when Harry Maguire comes in to give advice to the back line. There'd been a heated exchange at half-time with the Spanish squad. Look, listen, they've just realised they've got to go sign another French don on an undisclosed fee for the national team. As I said though, Trafford was the main man. Dogden's gonna be upset when he checks Ancestry.com and realises they're not brothers.
You are not! That tastes like no child support fees.
He's had that DNA link snatched like a glove from a boy. The depression's hit Noni Madueke as well, realising he's got to go back to Chelsea now. West Brom are going to be hiking up the price for England's third choice goalkeeper because he was in the same postcode as the victors.
$50 million? Who do you think you kidnapped, Chelsea Clinton?
But the future is definitely looking bright here. This under-21 squad, plus the current stars like Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden's son, when Declan Rice evolves into Declan Risotto. Bro, it's going to be sick. I can't wait for Gareth Southgate to play them all at right back. Now over at United, and it's been a big week for potential signings as they were linked with Rasmus Højlund.
I can see what they're doing. He's cooking.
These lot saw Erling farmify the Premier League and went for a don that sounds like him. They've bidded for Haaland off of Redbubble. It was mixed emotions for United fans, hearing the news, then realising their negotiator was dyslexic.
Oh, let's go! That's class!
Their chief scout was in extra time of a maths paper. Sir, I need your help with this word. That is your own name, bro. Erik ten Hag won't be too understanding when Rasmus isn't able to score 57 goals by February.
Why isn't it possible? It's just not. Why not, you stupid bastard?
United are just looking at City's team and copying their entire workflow. They're going to be the first club to get a YouTube copyright strike. Next up, the version of Jack Grealish they're going to sign. They're moving like the Pro Evolution version. We've got Jeff Ghoulish over here. And that fake version's going to be struggling when United feed him his 38th Jaeger bomb for authenticity reasons. I'll be honest though, Højlund is actually very good. I'm low-key terrified. But one man who has already joined is Mason Mount, and he played in his first friendly for the club against Leeds. All eyes were on him, and by all I mean Chelsea eyes were on him. Blues fans were locked in, watching him misplace a 64-yard pass.
got your ass.
They were not messing about either, making a fail comp before the match had even ended. Chelsea fans were downloading Manchester United TV just to hate on this man. This is generational. Mason hadn't even misplaced a pass yet and it was already on Twitter. And now it's on Threads. They weren't his only hater, to be fair. Alejandro Garnacho was nabbing the ball off him because he's jealous of Mason getting a number 7 shirt. And Alejandro has really been struggling to get over this. Right, can you please just watch this kids film with your younger cousins? Yeah, it'll make them feel better. Okay, alright, I got you. 7? Yeah, so I'll be honest, life has been tough since I missed out on that shirt. It's alright, just go over to the sports channel, it's calm. 7 again! This month's probably been the toughest one of the year, I'll be real with you. What, is that because of, you know, the shirt and stuff? Or no, just because it's the 7th month of the year. Mace was struggling to keep things together though in his first United interview, reminiscing on Chelsea's chants. Yeah, so obviously there was this one that was my favourite that went like... Chelsea! Meanwhile, after realising he's been hoodwinked, Eric Ten Hag was at Todd Bowley's office asking if he could get a refund.
Actually, I'm glad we've got this opportunity to chat, as there's a couple of things I want to...
Shut up?
Sure.
Meanwhile, in terms of outs, and David De Gea's contract is up, and he's officially left the club. Hi, listen, thanks for the memories, G. This Liverpool page reminded him of a 7-0 defeat, and he reminded them that we haven't won the league. Except we have, since he joined. He quickly deleted, but it's lovely to get one last blunder out of him. If we're being honest, like, David De Gea is probably one of the best shot-stopping goalkeepers the Premier League has ever seen. But this man, just not a modern goalkeeper in terms of on the ball. This man wants to just bang it away at every opportunity. David, do you mind just passing me that plate? If in doubt, get it out. Marcus Rashford was emotional at his friend leaving. So emotional, he forgot to tell his PR to remove him, giving them caption ideas on Instagram. David De Gea's caption idea seemed a little bit targeted. There's been transfer news at Liverpool as well this week. A Saudi club, Al Ettifaq, managed by Steven Gerrard, want Jordan Henderson and Fabinho.
Ana El Ettifaqi, see you soon.
Brother Stevie, you know. We might have to get him sacked before Virgil van Dijk ends up there.
Today I feel Arab.
Henderson's realised he's got more cash to woo Jude Bellingham. We're all worried about a Saudi takeover, but any team willing to give Henderson 700k is unserious. Steven Gerrard got some harsh words from the board when he suggested bringing Curtis Jones to the Prince Mohammed bin Fahd Stadium.
And he's just literally told me to fuck off. I want this man to be no more.
Meanwhile, I just hope Saudi Arabia don't realise what Jordan Henderson did for the Rainbow Lasers campaign, because this man will be in a high security jail by next Tuesday.
Let me tell you something! Let me tell you something!
Now, there's been one very serious piece of news this week, and that is of Dele Alli, who's opened up in an interview to Gary Neville in an Overlap exclusive, talking about wanting to retire at the age of 24, the All or Nothing documentary, and childhood trauma, including his relationship with his biological parents, dealing drugs, and his rehabilitation. Now, the bravery and courage to speak out here is so admirable. And there was some very vulnerable stuff in here, which I won't go into too much detail, but if you do want to watch it and get an understanding of Dele, his background, and what's happened really in his footballing career, then it is something I would highly recommend you watching. Because I'll be honest, I watched it and I cried a little bit. It's an inspiration to others though, with similar backgrounds and experiences, but very helpful for him too, just to get it off his chest. It reflected badly on the tabloids as well, who pressured him during his rehab. And I can see their headlines tomorrow morning already, but I think it's very brave and it shows the tired rhetoric of having money equaling having happiness is wrong. So I wish him the best in his career. I hope he can get back to that point where he was at Tottenham, and also shout out to Everton, who seemed to be very helpful in trying to get him back on his feet. Now, French star Kylian Mbappe has been very busy this week, hanging out with A-list celebrities like Kim Kardashian. Not the Kardashian curse, bro. And Lons win the 23-24 Liga. This man's gonna be dropping Farmers League Riz, bro. Yeah, so I think maybe we should go out and get some food together. Wait, what do you mean by that? Well, I'm thinking I could get a bite to eat. Oh, well, like you should have said, the league I play for, like, sponsored by Uber Eats. So, nah, I'm thinking I want something a bit more meaty. I can't lie, I'm actually experimenting with like a vegan diet right now, so I'm not sure. Here we have Kylian in the back garden of the event, knowing that Kim is watching him. Look, PSG and the Kardashians is a good match anyway. They're both about 50% plastic. This curse, though, is real, and she was pictured with Erling Haaland as well. Pep was distraught seeing that the curse was about to hit his top striker. We've got a preview of Erling in the Community Shield next month. And in the world of gaming, something I know nothing about now. EA dropped the EAFC 24 cover. and it stinks.
Hey, sport. Bro, come on.
It looks like it got AI generated, fam. The next model on the cover looks absolutely crazy. Meanwhile, this is the Bukayo Saka they actually got for the shoe. That's not Ronaldinho. That is Donnarumma. Here we have other footballers trying not to laugh when seeing themselves on the cover. But listen, this new version of Sims is crazy. The £70 million man, Sandro Tonali, arrived on Tyneside, and he looks thrilled this week. His wife said that the gym at the club looked a little bit different, to which Sandro replied that it's much smaller. This guy's going to be dropping a Romelu Lukaku interview by December.
I hate it here.
And I can't imagine his new Greg's diet is going to be one that he's too pleased with.
They're delicious, actually.
Because they've got the same seasoning.
The vegetarian sausage is nicely flavoured.
Now let's head over to international football quickly and the Gold Cup, where USA are out in the semi-finals. Now, I'm not joking when I say with the USA's quality, they should be getting to the final 10 times out of 10. But they decided to bring their C team to the tournament. It's a bad month for rich Americans who are not taking things seriously.
How are you? I am under the water.
It is quite honestly Jova. Shout out to Panama, though, who defeated them on penalties, as well as other overachievers like Jamaica and St. Kitts. But the US are a shambles here. American fans don't get it, though. They heard that they've touched down and celebrated, even if it's at a local airport. Meanwhile, in the game before that, and one lino got absolutely KO'd in the US's game v Canada. This poor man was concussed afterwards. Yep, that's offside. My brother in Christ, it's half-time. Meanwhile, Costa Rica beat Martinique 6-4 in probably the game of the tournament. Not that impressed all of the players.
Bombastic side eye.
In Ireland, and they had a unique way of covering Declan Rice's transfer to Arsenal by purely showing international football of him when he used to represent Ireland. It's a shithousery award for RTE. Harry Kane was seen with a Kith t-shirt on this week. A man said he has to wear a Kiss t-shirt, and this is what he got. This is ridiculous. Meanwhile, one Tottenham news aggregator claimed that Fabrizio Romano had confirmed a move from Tottenham for Napoli's Victor Osimhen, to which he replied saying he never said that. Spurs fans are so bored they're making up their own transfer rumours now, and Spurs players are so bored they're taking up a new career, with Richarlison doubling as a pilot. I don't think passengers are going to get the usual professionalism over the intercom. This man's going to be the first person to ever be offside in the sky. Wilfred Zaha has been linked with a move to Saudi Arabia all summer, but apparently they've pulled out of the move after he asked for too much money. Do you know how much cash you have to ask for to exceed Saudi Arabia's budget? Imagine a sheikh looking at his Lloyd's TSB account and saying, nah, actually, I can't do this. Pau Torres has arrived at Birmingham Airport ahead of his proposed move to Aston Villa, and upon seeing Birmingham, has arrived back at the airport to leave again. Meanwhile, West Ham fan Steve the Madman had some renovations done to his home, only he realised that Millwall supporters were the builders involved. Now, after a little bit of banter back and forth, wearing a West Ham kit in front of them, offering them a tea and a West Ham cup, they decided to get back at him by drilling a Millwall shirt into his wall, so that a piece of the rival is always in his home. Yeah, it's a shithousery award for my boys in high vis. Meanwhile, Mikhailo Mudryk has decided to clap back at an Instagram comment calling him out, saying, at General AKTD, why you are didn't win Ballon d'Or yet. In France now, and Luis Enrique is the new Paris Saint-Germain boss. He celebrated by doing up a presentation till the riots in Paris took out their internet. Yo, guys, what we saying? Oh, safe. I thank you very much to Car on Fire 58. Thank you very much for the 3 gifted. Appreciate that. Highlighted message saying, I just blew up the fire department. Well, you guys are blowing up the dodos right now as well. I can't thank. Meanwhile, former manager Christopher Gaultier will not be happy when he finds out his replacement isn't 100% French.
There are some foreigners that are coming over and taking our jobs, yeah, and not even working. In
Spain, and Vinicius Jr. linked up with Neymar this week and almost smashed his fellow countryman's phone, knocking it out of his hand. Someone get this phone back in his hand ASAP. We can't risk another DM leak. Poor Vinny, he's gonna pick up the phone and see pictures he was not expecting to see. It's fair to say that screen's not the only thing that's been smashed this week.
In that position.
Vinicius has been out and about with others too, taking Eduardo Camavinga to Christ the Redeemer, and it's fair to say that Eduardo is now an honorary Brazilian.
Let's go.
He's as versatile with his passport now as he is out on the pitch, after a video emerged of him playing in goal too. What can this kid not do? Honestly, Royale are one scientific breakthrough away from an entire Camavinga 11. But they have made one new signing though, and that's Arda Güler, snatched under the nose of Barcelona. Luka Modric made his footballing debut in 2003. Arda Güler was only born in 05. I don't know why he's looking like a bouncer. His own security at his unveiling. Maybe it's to keep his dad away from trying to take 70% of his wages again. His new teammate Toni Kroos was pictured by Royale on Twitter going for an ambitious volley. A great pick, but Tony then later confirmed the ball went far, far over the bar.
Well, we hope not.
And there's the news that Real club legend Luis Suarez has unfortunately passed away aged 88, a former Ballon d'Or winner back in 1960. There was though a misunderstanding for Ghana, who were about to announce a national holiday until they realised it wasn't the Barca version. Now, the new camp knockdown and rebuild adventure has begun. Obviously a sad day for Spanish football, an iconic stadium, and Bayern fans are also gutted, knowing their training ground is now gone. Is it called the new camp now? What are we doing here? Do they even have the money to finance this sort of thing? No, Barca, you can't just replace your stadium with a Spotify playlist. Over in Germany, and Luka Hernandez has left Bayern Munich for a lucrative deal over at PSG, and their former club icon Mehmet Scholl was not too happy with the Frenchman, saying he didn't believe a word that the left-back says, before ending the comment with bye-bye and then a kiss emoji.
It's all the drama, Mick. I just love it.
And a little while ago, Marius Butler, whilst playing for Schalke, was shoulder-barged into a corner flag by a Hoffenheim defender. He has now signed for Hoffenheim, the side that he got bodied by, and he decided to use the opportunity for his transfer announcement to get him to bring a corner flag into their training ground. Easily the best transfer announcement of the week. And speaking of transfers, Granit Xhaka's move to Bayer Leverkusen is now officially done. I feel like Mikel Arteta's done a good job of lowering his temper problems, but he will be furious if Xabi Alonso leaves him out of the starting 11. Meanwhile, over at Juventus, and one man that's been out of the starting 11 for a while is Paul Pogba, who's now valued at only 10 million by the club, who are wanting to sell. And Graham Souness will be quick to say "I told you so" to Paul when he travels to watch him in a French 3rd Division game in 2 seasons from now.
You all laughed at me.
Now there is time for your goals of the week, and we've got a massive 4 this week. First of all, a clever free kick routine in the MLS from Xherdan Shaqiri, resulting in a thunderbolt first time from range. Second up, and shout out to Bolivar in Bolivia, where Algaranez has pulled out these unbelievable acrobatics with his back to goal, flicking it over his own shoulder and the goalkeeper. In Egypt, and during the under-23s AFCON, Mohamed Saber unleashed this absolute rocket from distance against Morocco. And finally, rounding out the 4, possibly the goal from the furthest distance ever featured in goals of the week. Take a bow, Ernest Aguirre over in Estonia.
Hola Marina, ¿cómo está? No, pero pará, muy cerca. Ya. Soy Messi. Una sonrisita. Hola.
Might be autistic.
All right, listen, look, I know we're gonna add this to Messi's autism files, but what is the cameraman doing here? Honestly, one more aggressive zoom like that and he's gonna have Rodrigo de Paul to deal with. Staying on the theme of Lionel Messi, and there's the revelation that his knees are a little bit weird. It's okay, Leo, look, I understand. But let's not mock him too much, okay? He's in the US, yeah? They have different rules over there. If you start cussing him anymore, he's gonna have to take serious action.
Mira eso!
In the Netherlands, and FC Volendam have unveiled their new away kit, and it's inspired by eels, with them holding eels in the club photos. Hey, is that an eel, or are you happy to see me? Oh no, it is actually an eel, okay. Meanwhile, in the EAFC trailer, and Christian Benteke was represented as the same height as Lorenzo Insigne, something Christian was not too pleased about, being over 6 foot. He decided to take matters into his own hands with this edit on Twitter. Hello all, and welcome to The Beautiful Game, the segment where we take a look at the poetic and brilliant side of the game that we love. We are back by popular demand for yet more glorious beauty. Alright, the ball's come out, yep, just let it land. Let's rebuild the attack.
Travado em cima da marcação. Capa! Caprichado.
For God's sake. And that concludes The Beautiful Game. Over in South Korea, and there's something so wholesome about this women's footballer banging in an absolute screamer, by the way, from distance. And her celebration is just her being shy. She hasn't scored a screamer, she scored a giggler. Over in Chile, and in this game here, there was a 5.6 on the Richter scale earthquake during the match. The referee obviously had to call a stoppage in play. You can see the camera shaking about. But I love that nobody stopped playing. Play to the whistle. That is basics of football. We were over in Mexico, and this goalkeeper might have forgotten the basics of football at Cruz Azul.
Temporada pasada. Why is the goalkeeper doing? Why are you there?
Up in Scotland, and pre-season friendlies are a time to iron out the mistakes, yeah? Make sure you're not making stupid errors when the season starts. But this own goal is just taking the piss. But if you thought that was bad, let's take a look over in Finland, and at Salpa, I think that's, I don't know what this team is called, really.
Oi, 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 mitä tapahtuu siellä ja Toma maali.
And their goalkeeper's not going to want to be known after that shambles of an own goal. Now, we've seen many, like, skills on this show before, yeah? A lot of nutmegs, I'm sure. But a 2-for-1 deal? I'm not... This might be history. In Argentina, they're not bowing down to any of this soft football nonsense. We're not allowing simulation into the game. If you get rugby tackled to the floor and then punched in the abdomen, you're not getting anything except a yellow card for simulation from the referee. For Zambia now, and there was absolute chaos in the women's game against Germany, where they were 2-0 down and came back to win 3-2 against massive favourites with a winning goal at the 12th minute of added time.
And now the break is on for Banda. Barbara Banda. Beyond Henry. Barbara Banda in 3-2. Oh, unbelievable.
In Jordan, we've got the defensive mix-up to end all defensive mix-up. I mean, just get this goalkeeper off the field, guys, if you can't. And in Kenya, there's been protests on the streets over there due to a massive rise in tax and just general costs of living. And look, listen, when a grenade or tear gas comes your way, it might be an opportunity to get yourself scouted, because that is these Travelled a grenade away. Do you understand how mad that is? Now, though, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, because over in Romania, if there's one thing that is extremely important to Romanian fans, it's the principles of club values, and that often changes when a club's badge changes. Well, Polyazi are taking that to a whole new level, because for the new season, they have, I mean, well, they've ruined their badge, I'm not gonna lie, and their ultra group are not too happy. They said they're gonna stop attending the club's games with immediate effect just because the club's badge has been changed. But you could argue they're crestfallen, because obviously club crest and
Right over to Pickett.
yeah, no, I'm sorry, love. That's a handball. You can't use your arm there. Yeah, no, play on. Sorry, advantage. In Singapore now, and your club might have scored an all-important goal. When the boys are trying to organise a night out in the group chat, you've got to get involved and start texting back. I'd like some names, some suggestions for some skill move names in the comment section now, though, for these skills that you're about to see in Angola. Oh, but if I tried doing that, I would break my neck in half. I have a feeling that won't quite take off, that skill move, and neither will this penalty technique over at Margate. Closer to home, though, now, and one Football Manager fan is getting increasingly frustrated with his goalkeeper's nonsense here. Now, in-game, this was a goalkeeper called Aidan Stone, and his real-life counterpart found a tweet and apologised for purely trying to play it out from the back. Meanwhile, at Huddersfield, and 4 minutes into their pre-season friendly against Tavistock, they managed to lose all 3 of the footballs, leading to a stoppage in play, and had to gift the opposition goalkeeper an away shirt because of a kit clash. We love pre-season around here. It's been a little while since we saw our goalkeeper let the ball just like run under his foot, which is great to see.
Opa! Opa!
Yeah, I shouldn't have spoken too soon. In the MLS and at Charlotte, this commentator has quite literally transformed into Mickey Mouse.
The area for Swiderski. One touch! He scores! Another one for Swiderski! And that one was more impressive than the first!
Meanwhile, in Chile, we've got a free kick that's about to be taken. Except the guy who's received the ball thinks he's about to take the free kick, and now he's given away a free kick for handball. Elsewhere, though, and if I saw my son pull off this solo goal, I'm getting him in an academy. I'm getting him in the Liverpool first team with immediate effect. At Sao Paulo, and they don't want a ball on the edge of the pitch to interrupt a counter-attack, so their goalkeeping coach has had to spring into action. Meanwhile, at Elat in Cameroon, and they won 35-0 this week, and it's no surprise when we compare the two teams in the women's second division. One has come dressed like charity workers, and the others are wearing Nike Predators. One team is wearing shin pads, the other is wearing leggings. I'll let you guess who won. Now there is time for Still 0-0, and you guys know the score by now. This is a segment of the show where I bring to you the best of Sunday League and amateur football. And this time we're going down under, over in Australia. What is probably the most stereotypical thing that could interrupt a football match? Think about it, and then think of the second most stereotypical thing that could interrupt a football match. As a koala bear with a baby on its back decided that it was time to start bombing down the wing.
I'm about to disrupt a football match.
On to the weird stuff though now. Shout out to San Marinese side Cosmos, who finished last season bottom of their league on 5 points. I don't think you quite understand how bad you have to be to finish bottom of the San Marinese Premier League on just 5 points. Well, this year they completely turned it around, winning the league, and are now making their debut in European competition this week. Up in Scotland and at Cambuslang Rangers, I don't know how you even pronounce that name, but their admin had to put out an apology saying he wasn't able to continue with the social posts on Twitter because he had to take up the job as the linesman in their game against Muirkirk Junior FC. At Göteborg in Sweden, and with the side sat second bottom of the league, they've decided to send their players out on speed dating evenings to try and improve morale around the club and start breaking the ice amongst teammates. What, are they dating each other or something? What's going on here? But finally, I just want to say I wish a speedy recovery to goalkeeping legend Edwin van der Sar, who of course works at Ajax at the moment. He's unfortunately been in hospital recently. Ajax with some lovely gestures ahead of their most recent friendlies, wearing shirts in support. I'm sure he's in great hands and I wish him a speedy recovery. But that is going to wrap up football this week, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. It's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourselves and goodbye.